Welcome back to the APP Vlasic Classic Cincinnati semifinal number 2 coming your way right now. We are taking a live look at Andre Mick, 2023 APP St. Louis gold medalist. He also won a silver medal in mixed doubles back in Newport in 2023, and he did it with that woman, Allison Harris. Allison, also a newer player to the APP Tour, but we started seeing a lot of her in the back half of 2023, and she has just built on that momentum in 2024. Her and Mick partnered up for the first time in Newport last year. They met the day before the tournament, went all the way to the gold medal match before falling to Paris Todd and Hunter Johnson, and now here they are in Cincinnati on the brink of getting back to a gold medal match together. But if they want to do that, they're going to have to beat a duo that has proved dynamic so far here in this mixed doubles Friday action, led by that woman. Susanna Barr won 11 APP gold medals in 2023, fourth most on the entire tour. And she's one of the best mixed doubles players on the tour. Hard to argue that she's not the best on the women's side. She's partnered up with Brandon Lane, 2023 APP Sacramento bronze medalist. Their first time playing on the APP Tour together. But Dom, you got a chance to catch up with them, and they have put in a little bit of time practicing together to get familiar with each other's game.
Yeah, they practiced a little bit when we were all in Naples, so they got some time in on the court. And again, we'll talk about some cardiac kids out here. Not only Brendan Long and Yana Newell, but Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane were down 10-8-1 in their quarterfinal matchup and won 12-10. And then we're down 10-7 in the round of 16. And then in the quarterfinal, we're down 10-7 and fought that off and won 12-10 in game 3. So they've won 2 game 3s by a score of 12-10. So they have been tested. But again, now, can we see what they can do with the pace of Andre Mick right now?
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane so far today. Chad, what has impressed you most about their game?
Well, part of it's the consistency. Even though they've fallen behind in a couple of these matches, that down the stretch, they've been able to stay within themselves. They've moved the ball around. You see a big finish there from Brandon Lane. Look for him to get big in the middle. Look for Barr to, well, now in this one, we're going back to a standard mixed doubles format. So we're going to see a lot of the forehand cross-court dinks from the ladies. And we'll look for, the guys to get big in, reach in, speed some balls up.
Now switching our attention to Allison Harris and Andre Mick. Like we mentioned, they played a few times in 2023 together, had great success in that first tournament. But Dom, what have you liked about the way we've seen their partnership grow from last year to this year?
Well, again, they're familiar with each other, so familiarity is huge. We've seen that over the last couple of years, the way good partnerships are partnerships that last longer. And Andre Mick and Allison Harris are playing really well together. And right now I'm going to look for Andre Mick to pick up where he left off in the quarterfinal match and try and play with a lot of pace and see if Brendan Lang and Susanna Barr can slow that down.
I know you wanted to say Brendan Long right there.
It's so, we have Brendan Long and Brandon Lane.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Brendan Long, however, has already clinched his ticket to Championship Sunday in the mixed doubles gold medal match. Brandon Lane going to try and do that right now. Susanna Barr going to get us started here in semifinal number 2 with the serve.
That's good ball right there from Andre Mick. And again, if he finds that pace to his advantage, it's not a good sign for Barr and Lane.
Well, the issue with Andre Mick, and we know that he has the power, he has the shape, he has the ability to really put some heavy spin on it. It's the laziness with the feet and the knees is when he has some issues. So big focus there for him is, if he's going to be aggressive, is to really focus on the good body positioning getting underneath the ball, accelerating through.
That serve sailing long.
It's almost a feeling out process for Mick. He's going to dial that serve in right now. He usually does start off with a couple where it's just like, okay, let me feel this out. And then halfway through, not even, a few serves in, he's going to dial that up and really rip that serve.
0-1-1, the score for Barr's serve. The other thing I'm interested to watch is both Mick and Lane have a tendency to start getting loud when they start getting into points and getting into games. It's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out as well.
Oh, look at that.
Case in point.
That ball sailing just a little deep there from Brandon Lane. I didn't want to say Brendan Long. I just wanted to say Brendan instead of Brandon.
Oh.
That ball just wide.
She got on top of that.
She really
May
did.
get a challenge at 1-1. That would be a little too early to use a challenge.
So it's a side out. 1-1-1 score for Mick serve. Oh, great angle. Gets on top of it. Does Brandon Lane.
Barr goes out.
Or not.
Lane puts it away and she goes, that works too.
That was the pressure from Mick, the movement right there. Actually, Brandon Lane looked up right before he was about to hit that ball because he could hear Andre Mick's movement.
Ball
just out.
And
just a little deep.
Both of their points for Harris and Mick have come off good drops.
Oh, they're going to challenge it. Andre Mick. That was pretty funny right there. So, referee is like, out, side out, and Andre's like, no, that was in. She's like, well, you have to challenge. He's like, all right, challenge.
So we'll get a chance here. But again, both Harris and Mick, both of their points have come off good Allison Harris drops. Brandon Lane coming over and getting kind of disrupted by Andre Mick getting big in the middle. So again, look for that as something because I know that Barr and Lane are going to go to Harris with a lot of the returns. As we have our first review here
Of this semifinal. So it is a 2-1 lead right now for Allison Harris and Andre Mick. Take another look at this one. That ball looks out based on that
The
review.
ball was confirmed out.
And now it's officially confirmed.
Harris
lot
and
deeper
Mick
than
lose a challenge. You have 2 challenges
what Mick
remaining. Lane and Barr have 3 challenges. It will be side out. 1, 2, 1.
All right, so you just heard our USA Pickleball referee do a great job of breaking that down, but the score is 1-2-1. Brandon Lane with the serve.
Oh, nothing anyone can do with that one as Allison Harris gets some love off the tape.
1, 2, 2.
Oh, hooked it a little too, or tried to really cut it, but almost cut it a little too much. Now Andre Mick cocks that wrist back really big and tries to cut through it.
Nice step over there from Lane.
Now he needs to watch though. It's almost a setup for Allison Harris to pull him in a little.
Slide it behind him on the next one.
Slide that ball behind.
Nice reach in and speed up there from Barr. Gets that ball just enough behind Harris and it pops up.
So it's a 4-2 lead here. Susanna Barr with the serve.
That ball was wide as well there from Harris. Just trying to do a little too much, put some pressure on.
And a timeout called on the court by Allison Harris and Andre Mick, as Barr and Lane take an early lead here in game number 1.
Eerily similar to the Jarjing on Scenes match, where Jarjing controlled Harris a little bit at the kitchen line, right? You're seeing Barr control it enough to where Harris can't go behind Lane.
Yep.
Now I'm going to look for her to do that. I talked with her after their interview, and we're talking about how that kind of was the difference in games 2 and 3 in that quarterfinal matchup. Now it's going to be, what can they do to kind of get that look for her? Because she's going to see a steady diet of balls right now. They're not going to go to Brendan Lane too much, but in my opinion, I think they should. I think she should go behind him right there and force that ball to Andre Mick and get Andre Mick involved. So even if Allison just drops the ball to the sideline and almost fakes an Ernie, then it forces Lane to go back cross court.
Instead, that forehand pushed deep again.
Wind on that side a little bit right now.
The wind has been something we've been talking about all afternoon, and it's not that it's consistent, it's that it is gusting at times where it impacts the play. Oftentimes greatly. Brendan Lane makes a sprint for it. Can't quite get there.
Yeah, good touch volley there from Mick. Makes it look like he's going to hit a hard overhead.
Oh, wow. Lane read it. The little inside-out forehand from Allison Harris, but can't finish the forehand in the middle.
Ooh.
That was an out ball there for Barr as well, but hey, you know what? That works too.
The slapopotamus. Slap. Slap it down. Slap it.
Is that the official term?
Good.
You look up the glossary of pickleball vernacular.
That's what I want Allison Harris to do. She's got to keep Lane honest right there and force him possibly into some mistakes.
4-6-2, the score for Mick serve.
Oh, it landed on the line. I had a little giggle to myself right there. It sounded like you were working for McDonald's right there with a Mick serve.
Oh, just a little slow getting there, and unfortunately into the tape.
And it's Mick and Harris who have put together a little 4-0 run here to tie us up in game number 1. Lane with the backhand cross court Ernie to finish that point.
Well, good move by Lane right there, because he needed the angle to finish this point. When he was hitting through the court, Harris and Mick were getting everything back.
A nice speed up right there. Good patience, too, from Mick. Wait for that ball to get to its apex and then attack.
Oh, how did that stay in?
It did, though.
Oh, patience.
He picks that off the ground here.
Let this develop. Only needs to get a ball's width around the post.
Beautifully executed around the post from Brandon Lane to give him and Susanna Barr the lead.
A good aggressive fourth there from Harris down at the feet of Barr.
6-7-1, the score for Allison Harris's serve. Lane doing a good job getting out of that one.
He's always a little dramatic, but
Mick,
it's fun.
Mick needs to slow himself down, use his legs right there on that drive. Just like that one. So 2 different balls. One where he stands straight up and it goes out by 6 feet. One where he uses his legs, gets underneath it, and it's got 6 feet of break.
Oh, good coverage in the middle there from Susanna Barr on the speed up from Allison Harris. That's a good spot. between right there. Good spot from Allison Harris. Almost a little change of pace. If she hits that a little harder, ball's going to stay up for Barr.
Susanna Barr going for the lob.
Wow, that's nice lob. Good timing right there from Barr. Gets it up and over Mick. Some great dink battles cross court between Harris and Barr right now.
So this first game proving to be very tightly contested here in game number 1 of our mixed doubles semifinal. We already have one team who's locked in for Sunday. One of these two is going to join them. Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane with the edge because of this play right here.
That's a good drop too from Mick. Not bad right there.
8-7-2 the score for Barr's serve.
Another good step over there for Lane. Chooses the right ball. Harris just leaves it floating enough that Lane can get extended, but he also takes that back into Harris.
Oh, too much time right there. Thought about it a little too much, changed her mind. I think she wanted to speed that up and then decided to cross court dink that. Wow, some great movement up at the kitchen line from Andre Mick. Just reset after reset, but finally Brandon Lane able to get one down at the feet.
But that movement didn't distract him the same way it seemed like it did at the beginning of game 1. Lane staying locked in and focused to finish that point off. Force him onto their second serve.
Oh, he can't miss that one. Sets himself up perfectly. Nice step in and drive from Mick. Gets elevated, both feet off the ground on that second ball and gets on top of it.
Wow, a little surprise lob right there from Barr. Harris was not expecting that one.
It was unassuming, the way that she hit it, too. It was just perfectly placed, well-timed, and it sets up game point opportunity.
Off the paddle, it looked like, yeah, this is trouble.
Right.
But Harris just got her feet tied up, wasn't able to move.
And so it's a game point opportunity here for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane. Take another look.
Yeah, she had her feet still on the ground, almost shuffling back, still trying to hit it at the same time. I think if she stops her feet and really kind of gets something into that, but she was still moving and trying to hit that. But it was almost a shock that she lobbed that,
right,
and the fact that it wasn't the best lob.
Yeah.
It was a sneaky one.
Sometimes it's more effective to not hit a great one.
Sometimes your opponents are like, oh,
what did you just do?
Oh, no, I missed it. I'm the
Dang
one
it.
that stinks.
My bad.
Why do I even play pickleball?
That's
that's what
you
goes
and
in
I.
my
That's
head.
you and I. That's you and I, buddy. That's why we're in here. It's not the only reason. We got two opportunities here. They're on first serve.
Yep. 10-7-1, the score for Brandon Lane and Susanna Barr.
That's good return there from Allison Harris, pushing Brandon Lane behind the baseline.
Oh, a little big on the backswing there from Harris.
Brandon Lane and Susanna Barr take game one here of our mixed doubles semifinal. Game number 2 coming at you next from the APP Vlasic Classic, Cincinnati.
Need to sell tickets for an event? From Sports Illustrated's official ticketing platform, introducing Box Office. Managed ticketing for sports, festivals, fundraisers, and more. Paid or free. And we go beyond the barcode. Introducing Super Ticket. Super Tickets are secured by blockchain technology and transform into exclusive digital content, promotions, and rewards between the event and guests. Cheaper, better, simpler, more secure. Sports Illustrated Tickets. Partner with us for your next event.
APP is sponsored by Gamma, play to live to play. Skechers Pickleball, experience comfort that performs. And Humana, official healthcare partner of the APP Tour. A reminder to check out pickleballsuperstore.com via the QR code on your screen to get your instant discount. Welcome back to the Queen City. Cincinnati, Ohio has been the backdrop for our mixed doubles action on this lovely Friday afternoon and now into the evening here local time as you see the shadows coming across championship court. Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane take game one of this semifinal. Allison Harris, Andre Mick get us started in game two. Picking up right where he's left off.
Well, again, good setup right there from both Barr and Lane. Again, not trying to do too much. That's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to get into a hands battle with Andre Mick and Allison Harris. They're going to get every single ball back.
And when it comes to defense, I feel like Allison Harris is also really good at those resets.
Yeah.
Well, you've got Barr and Harris that are extremely good at defense. And then you have Mick and Lane who have the ability to step in and create some power. So evenly matched teams right here. It's just whoever executes the best.
That's dirty pull right there from Andre Mick. Susanna Barr sitting forehand, goes to her backhand side.
So it's a side out here. Allison Harris with the serve.
Yep.
Great flick there.
But that all comes down to the footwork and the use of the knees right there as far as getting around the ball, bending the knees, getting that paddle head underneath.
Nice hands right there from Barr and Lane handling the pressure, and it was good pressure from Mick and Harris. They seem to be in control right there, but Barr finally with the finish in the middle. But you're seeing that game plan right now early. When Andre Mick gets a ball on his side, he's going to look to speed up right face on with Susanna Barr. She's got to be ready.
Is that sliding forehand from Allison Harris. It's almost straight arm and just keeps that paddle head laid back a little bit.
Oh, wow. That's a little angle, too, with that.
Take another look here at the winner from Andre Mick.
A good move there from Mick and a good drive from Harris. A lot of times with this shake and bake, it's not about the power of the drive. It's about the shape of it. If it's dipping. Oh, he's missed another one. Back to the shake and bake with the drive. If it's dipping and forcing your opponent's hit up on it, then you have a better opportunity for the shake and bake for the second finish rather than just something that's hard and flat.
So side out here and good leave there by Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane as they get themselves on the board here in the second game.
Ball just kept getting higher, 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 higher. It was who's going to let that next ball go.
So easy to say, so hard to do.
Oh, 100%.
1-2-1. Score for Barr's serve. Missed return from Mick.
Mick trying to run around that forehand. He got that ball right in on the body.
Well, I'm surprised.
Nobody stopped it. You can't stop play right there. They can't stop play. That's Mick and Harris got to keep playing right there.
Point. Let's go. Point.
He can't. He can't.
So a timeout called on the court by Andre Mick and Allison Harris after that one. So the question, walk us through the question that Andre Mick was posing.
The question is, I could tell what he's saying because it did look like it, that the ball came off Brandon Lane's shirt and then he hit the ball. So if that's the case, then, point's done. We'll take a look here. Right there.
Nope, it never got him. It got the heel of his paddle.
It looked like it came off the shirt, but if it's not called by the player, if it's not called by the referee, you can't stop the play. We'll take a look here. It's moving too quick that you can see. The only thing would be right on the hip, but it's also not a challengeable ball as well.
In order
again, the hard part about that too is you think that and then you stop. You can't stop play, unfortunately.
So it will be a point for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane. They take a 3-2 lead here in game number 2.
That's a beautiful lob from Allison Harris. Right up over the top of Lane. Drops it in that back corner perfectly.
Mick putting the pressure on there with that forehand. Forces the side out.
For me, that's huge right there. That's huge. They take that timeout. They calm down after that call, and they hold twice to Harris and Mick.
Oh. But I looked like she was swatting flies right there. Swung at it twice after it's hit off the neck cord. That's an excellent setup there from Harris. Nice drop down to the feet of Barr. She tries to take it back cross court, and it just gives Mick the ability to step over and be aggressive.
That's
Oh.
What better way to celebrate the Vlasic Classic than its new pickleball accessory, the Vlasic Classic.
wow.
Nice counter there from Barr. The defense overall there from Barr and Lane. Mick was hitting some balls with ridiculous topspin.
The drop from Mick was dirty to start that point.
Nice ball there from Harris. Taking it cross body. So what happens there is if Barr's timing isn't absolutely perfect, she catches it with the paddle angled out wide, and that's why that ball sailed on it. And the same spot there on Brandon Lane.
So out of that timeout, Mick and Harris found some momentum here, take a 6-3 lead.
Yeah, that ball landed in as well. So good aggression here from Harris and Mick. They're controlling the tempo. It's almost a spitting image of their quarterfinal match.
Yeah, and what's happening right now is even though Barr's hitting aggressive dinks, Harris is hitting even more aggressive dinks cross court.
And a timeout called here on the court gives us a chance to look back at one of the highlights from here, the Zimmer Biomet recovery moment of the match. Andre Mick, this was ridiculous.
Now we're taking a look at the little flick there from Andre Mick. Barr tries to get up and over with that offensive lob, but not going to happen there for Mick.
So it's an 8-3 lead here in game number 2. 5 points, the largest that either team has had a lead here in this semifinal matchup at the APP Vlasic Classic Cincinnati. Lane and Barr had a 4-point lead in game 1 before going on to win it 11-7. But right now it's a 5-point advantage for Harris and Mick. So a timeout called on the court by Barr and Lane. Out of it, Dom. What do you want to see them do?
Well, again, you got to change things up a little bit, right? And what I mean by that is if Barr's going to go cross court with Harris, she's got to find her right foot and her left foot. She can't just continue to go to the same spot. So move that ball in and out. But you also got to worry about Andre Mick's forehand right there, too.
That lob from Lane sailing long.
A little better right there. She went in between the feet right there of Allison Harris rather than letting her get extended, where she's really controlling the dinks.
Huge serve there. Missed return by Mick. So it's a point for Barr and Lane, which ends their 6-0 run that they have put together.
And Mick's just standing there completely upright, straight legs, big swing.
But that's it right there, is that drive, that's not the spot.
No. That's a rush drive. That's not getting underneath it, and it's just shoulder high.
So it pushes Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane onto their second serve. Ooh, little help off the net.
That's
Yeah,
nice
good
hand
spots.
control right there from Lane. Good gets from Mick just to force another ball.
So it's 5-9 here for Susanna Barr's serve. Ball missing just a little bit wide. So side out here, Andre Mick with the serve.
Yeah, rushed it just a little bit. He was there. He's pulling himself back cross body. Just set your feet.
So the tempo is kind of slowed down a little bit and going away from Mick and Harris. Lane just trying to cut that one a little too fine.
Second serve. Susanna Barr with it. Backhand flick from Andre Mick into the net.
When that ball's up and it's close, that's fine.
Absolutely.
When you're reaching for that, just use your backhand and cut that over. Ooh, was there, but was ahead of it, actually.
So Lane and Barr get one back before Mick and Harris force the side out. 9-6-1, the score for Andre Mick.
Oh, what was that?
Just a
Just
flick of the wrist.
Flick right there.
A beautiful flick down the middle that sets up game point. Another look here.
Yeah, nice easy reach in there for Mick.
Game point opportunity here for Andre Mick and Allison Harris. And they get it done, just like that.
We're going to 3. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Only one.
Six matches today. 18 games coming.
Here we go. Game number 3 to decide who plays on Championship Sunday for a right to earn the gold medal when we come back to the APP Vlasic Classic, Cincinnati.
The Pro XR pickleball paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
18 years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped. Suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
To be clear, Fulfill is a protein bar, not a candy bar. Don't let its creamy, chocolatey goodness confuse you, or the fact that you hide them from anyone with a sweet tooth.
You saw nothing.
I saw nothing.
Fulfill. We swear it's a protein bar.
The APP is sponsored by LS, official on-court apparel of the APP Tour. C&D Nets, the highest quality nets made in the USA. And Tervis, the original insulated tumbler. Take a look at the APP Vlasic Classic Cincinnati mixed doubles bracket. As you can see, one side already filled out. It is going to be Brendan Long and Jana Newell playing in the gold medal match. And right now we find out who will join them. Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane taking on Andre Mick and Allison Harris. Game 3 here on Championship Court in the Queen City to decide who earns their spot on Sunday. Susanna Barr with the serve to get us started.
Good ball there from Harris, pulling Barr out wide.
That's a good spot right there as Lane jams up Allison Harris on that backhand speed up.
Good adjustment from
She
Lane.
went. She just went a little too big.
Yeah. And Barr left it. Usually she plays that.
She couldn't reach it. She had to get the step ladder out.
Oh, in between.
Well, but again, Harris is so far away from the kitchen line right there because when she's pulled out wide, she takes a dink, then she shuffles back around in this arc. So you get that hesitation of do I let it bounce? Do I take it out of the air?
Oh, nice hands from Lane. He gets jammed up, but a good reset. But you're right, Chad. We've seen that with Allison Harris before where when she gets in trouble is when she's about 2 feet off that kitchen line. And then she's kind of in between on balls that she should attack.
So a 2-0 lead here for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane to start game 3.
Wow.
That time Brandon Lane was ready for the lob from Allison Harris. Finishes it with the overhead winner.
What a get from Allison Harris in the middle. There's no business. They should have still been in that point. But it was tough because she's lobbing from 2-3 feet back.
Big serve there, and it's a 4-0 lead for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane here in game number 3. So a timeout called on the court by Andre Mick and Allison Harris.
I know a good timeout here from Harris and Mick. As Chad and I would say, if this was 5-0 and they called a timeout, we would have hated it.
It's wasted.
Right.
It's wasted because they get the end change on 6. But a good timeout here at 4, try and slow this momentum down. Barr and Lane still on first server here on this service game, doing a really good job of playing defense on a couple speed ups. Brandon Lane really well on those speed ups. Allison Harris had him beat. And then Allison Harris digging a ball out in the middle too. But I want Andre Mick to step in here on this, on a ball, on a drop, and just kind of put some pressure on now. He's got to be felt. He hasn't been felt this third game yet.
No, they've come out flat in the third game. They had, well, a similar situation in game 2 where they were behind. They had that bad call in Mick's eyes. And then they went on the run. So right now, have to treat it the same. Pick up the intensity, get the feet moving, put some pressure on. That ball's out right there from Lane, just a little too far extended. But like you were saying, though, it's the movement of Mick that's going to create the pressure and create, the mistakes and those pop-ups.
Ooh, good job there. Susanna Barr waited for that ball to finish it.
That's set up because she hasn't gone behind there once in game 3. Now she does and gets the pop-up. And it almost got away from her because of the wind held it up.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Mark that point. Mark that point because that could have been an end change at 6-0. Instead, it's a side out. That's one of those momentum changers.
And if you're Lane, the most frustrating part of that is that it was because of the net. It's because you went just a little too low. 1-5-1, the score for Allison Harris' serve.
Oh, got too big. You saw it. You're leaning forward about to say it.
Too big, and didn't get the paddle head underneath the ball.
adjustment by Allison Harris off the tape.
And that's what Barr and Lane don't want. They don't want those points like that. They want to control the point, get it down, get it to a kitchen game.
Oh, what a get from Lane right there.
Wow. Incredible get, but still in it here with a lead, but a great run here now from Harris and Mick. Mick swinging at that. I'd like to see him just get down, get in athletic position, try and reset that ball, bump that ball back over. Hard to do anything with that ball.
But like you mentioned, Dom, that moment on the last service side for Lane and Barr, really critical because they could have changed ends at 6-0. And now, best case, they'll change it at 6-3.
Nice roll there from Mick. Again, just focusing on the spin and accelerating through the ball, not trying to overhit it. And a quick side out here for Lane and Barr. Mick and Harris looking to capitalize here. Oh, nice defense there from Harris. Somehow digging a ball out from his shoelaces.
4-5-1, the score from Mick's serve. Chance to tie things up here in game 3.
Wow, a little punch right there. A little forehand punch. That's just athleticism at its finest right there.
Second serve here for Allison Harris. Great placement by Andre Mick down the line. Ties things up. 5-all.
Yeah, good job there from Mick. Stepping over, using the legs.
Hey, but guess what? It's a ball game here.
Very much so.
5-5. Who's going to get the end change on their terms?
Brandon Lane answering that question with a little bit of authority there.
And even though it is on their terms, you're looking at it, it could have been 6-0, and now it's 6-5. But you do get it on your terms with ball in hand at 6-5-1. So they are still in control here, but a great answer, huge answer from Mick and Harris.
Andre Mick and Allison Harris trailed 5-0 to start this game 3, and then a ball off the paddle of Brandon Lane, off the net and out, gave them the side out, and they went on a 5-0 run to get back in this third game. And so now we change ends at 6-5 to decide, just a few points left to decide who punches their ticket to Sunday.
Well, this one's going to come down to it. I think this one's going to be touch and go here all the way to the end. We've had some really good first two games, 11-7, 11-6, flipping scores. But again, this one going to come down to it. Who can execute? You have Mick and Harris trying to play that up pace, up tempo, and you have Barr and Lane trying to get into a little elongated points and set stuff up. So we'll see whose game plan will come out on top here, and we're as tight as we can get on an end change.
It is still Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane's serve. And they are on their first serve. So 6-5-1 the score for Brandon Lane. Good defense there by Lane, but then misses wide.
Well, and very easily Mick could have overhit on those balls, dumped them into the net. We've seen it before.
Forehand from Harris sailing wide. So it's a 7-5 lead now for Barr and Lane on their second serve.
Wow, nice ball right there from Allison Harris. That's Patton right there. That's her move, inside out forehand. Lane's got to stay home and sit on the forehand right there.
Andre Mick with the serve, 5-7-1, misses into the net.
That's something you can't do right there, especially when you have a big, aggressive serve that your opponents have difficulty returning deep.
That's a huge hold right there for Barr and Lane. Don't give up any points. And had some momentum, did Harris, with that inside out. Looked like they were going to be pumped up to get that serve back, but serve in the net, third high.
Chance for them to extend this lead, but forehand into the net off the paddle of Susanna Barr, so on to their second serve.
Off the tape. That's tough, and I know Andre Mick looking at Allison Harris right now, and he apologized, but ain't nothing he needs to apologize about right there. It's just unlucky off the tape for them.
Are frustrated as that one goes very similarly off her paddle into the net on the forehand. The side out here. Harris and Mick with a chance to cut this 3-point lead. Great spot there, Susanna Barr down the middle.
That ball right there, bouncing ball, Harris doesn't sell it enough. Lane is sitting there on the backhand. You see it right there. Anticipates, good counter.
That's good attack right there from Andre Mick, controlling the kitchen line. A nice, easy inside out behind Lane. A little tricky
reach.
speed up. I wouldn't say tricky, I'd say unexpected.
Unexpected. But, you know,
Sneaky speed up.
at the same time, you know, Mick got a good counter on the first one, but he stayed on the backhand side and trying to do a reverse flick. You know, counter with the backhand crossbody, going to the forehand.
Wow, and the low speed up from Lane. If Mick can get out of the way of that, ball's going way out. But again, it's a surprise speed up. And Chad, how many times do we see it now, right? It's the game.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to surprise.
You have to anticipate that every single ball is coming hot.
It's
never expect that a ball's going to bounce or that a ball's just going to be bumped back over.
And it's baseball.
Yeah.
Sit fastball,
react
off speed, right? And you're sitting dead red on fastball. Expect it every time. If you don't get it, you can adjust to a dink.
Yep.
But if you're sitting, I hit that ball nice and low, they're going to dink that, and then all of a sudden you get sped up you're surprised.
Yeah.
Andre Mick and Allison Harris calling a timeout on the court here, trailing by 3. Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane
Still on first serve.
still on their first serve and just 2 points away from punching their ticket to Championship Sunday. Would be a massive accomplishment for them in their first APP Tour tournament together to earn that spot in the gold medal match. Mick and Harris have been there before and would like nothing more than to get back to it. Have some work to do here, though, out of the timeout. Lane and Barr, it feels like we've seen them grow as a duo, even in the matches that we've brought you here streaming today. Now it's a matter of if they can finish things off.
Harris had it, but
the step back first,
back
then
foot.
trying to step forward.
Look where her back foot is when she hits that. If she's square to the net, that's a good inside out. The back foot drops, hip comes back, and she's fading away.
Match point opportunity here. Barr missing it into the net, pushes it on to their second serve. Brandon Lane with a match point opportunity.
Wow.
What defense by Harris and Mick, but Brandon Lane and Susanna Barr just stay poised, calm, collected, pumped up for their first championship Sunday as a duo, as they should be. We'll hear from Barr and Lane when we come back to Cincinnati.
No, since I've been using Leo Rubber, I've had way less problem on my AT band and hips. It's been really a game changer for me, so I highly recommend it to everyone.
That's what makes it so different. The whole idea about balanced compression, it improves your blood flow, reduces your fatigue. At the end of the day, you feel so much better.
I feel comfortable, I feel supported, I feel that I can train harder, train longer, recover faster, and feel supported while I'm playing. And that's so crucial for me, especially in singles when I'm trying to play against the youngest. I'm not the youngest out there, but I try and play against the youngest.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious. With better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best.
Now we'll take a look back at match point for Susanna Barr and Brandon Lane. They're moving on to Championship Sunday. Faced some difficulties throughout the day, but took it in Game 3 here convincingly. We're going to throw it down to Dominic Catalano, who's courtside with our Franklin post-match interview.
All right, we coined you guys earlier, the Cardiac Kids, and you did not disappoint in this one. Going 3 again. You came out, had a game plan, Game 1, executed. They came out really hot in Game 2. What was the difference for you guys going from Game 2 to Game 3?
Yeah, I mean, we knew we just needed to stop the chaos. Like, that's what they were thriving on, and so once we could get it under control, we felt confident.
And Brandon, talk to you before we came out here. You looked really loose, playing your game in this game. What was the difference going into this match?
Maybe I'm just a little tired now. My muscles are loosened up a little. But, you know, I'm just having a good time. You know, I'm playing pickleball, new partnership. I had a great day with Susanna. I'm so excited to go to Championship Sunday. But, yeah, you know, just sticking to my game, just grinding and playing and playing. But, yeah, I mean, I'm playing pickleball, man, on a Friday afternoon. You know, I could be in an office right now, so I'm stoked.
And moving on to Championship Sunday with the new partnership, what are you guys looking forward to the most?
I mean, I just think we're going to continue to build and have fun, and I told him thanks for picking me up. And a quick shout out to my son Porter, who's graduating today.
All right, well, congratulations, guys. Moving on to Championship Sunday. Chad, AJ, back to you guys.